Hey, Happy New Year's, everyone. Just wanted to start the year off with sharing with you guys one of the most fun things that's really just made the game more fun for me in the past couple weeks. And that is something that a lot of people apparently have already discovered. 25% of people are using Haste, but I kind of was in the old hardcore solo self-found mentality. I've been playing it so much, doing those races at the end of every league that, it was Haste also was always a really bad aura. It was really, really bad before it got buffed in 3.19. If we go down to the patch notes right here, you'll see that it only went up to 9% movement speed and 16% attack and cast speed. And now those go up to 15 and 24% respectively, which is getting to the point where it's actually worth playing. And in the back of my head, I just was always thinking Grace, Determination, Defiance Banner, Spell Suppression, Block Max Res, blah, 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 blah. Boring, hardcore solo self-found garbage, right? Very important when you're playing hardcore. But yeah, I feel like I lost touch with my my softcore trade 6 portal roots, and I have now readjusted to somewhere in the middle. Now, I haven't gone full, well-rounded beast. That's not really the way that I like to play this game, but I have found how to make this game way, way more fun for me. Like I said, I have been playing a lot of hardcore solo self-found races. My default way that I set up my character, this league especially, and last league, was, Grace, Determination, Defiance Banner. I was going for hybrid armor evasion bases, getting my max spell suppression, all that. Yeah, I literally never died. I think I had 5 deaths by the time that I killed Maven on this character, with investing very, very little. I went so hard on pure defenses, and it was absolute overkill. And if you saw my previous video where I was going all out, full ZHP, full damage, I was sneaking in haste as well just to go really fast and clear those sanctums quickly. And more I found myself, as I left the map, not wanting to turn off haste and turn on determination and grace again. I just wanted to keep that haste in because it just felt so damn good, right? Normal witch archetype, especially a self-cast witch, especially if you're using a staff or anything like that, which is kind of like the historical way that I played this build, is we would just be walking around, pressing our Quicksilver, flame dashing once in a while. And, the big revelation that I had this league was playing it with shield charge. And I can get pretty respectable damage with using a shield and a wand, not as much as a staff, but the quality of life, the additional defense of getting res and life on a shield, I found really transformed the build to making it more fun for me. And so the main thing I've been looking for, and what I'm always looking for, is quality of life and fun on my build. I just kept dropping more and more defense as I was playing. First thing I dropped was determination. I went full into ghost shrouds. I had really good evasion. I had, about 78 to 80% evasion with my grace in there. But then I was like, if I drop Defiance Banner, then I can use Herald of Ash, and then I can clear my maps faster. Kept snowballing, and I kept kind of limit testing to just see where it would be that's really comfortable. And I'm very happy with kind of where I've ended up now. Basically, I'm using Flesh and Stone right here to really make up for the fact that I'm not using Grace or Determination. Now, I still have hybrid evasion energy shield bases, mostly because I don't want to recraft my gear. I actually think I would go for pure evasion bases if I did want to recraft it, just to keep that baseline evasion up. With my flask up right now, I'm at 48% evasion, which is enough. And then on top of that, we have Flesh and Stone. So if they're close to me, they're blinded, which will roughly give me another 4 to 6% evasion. But if they're outside of the circle, I'm actually taking 16% less damage from all attacks. Not only physical damage, which is only armor, but all attacks will actually do less damage. I actually think that Flesh and Stone can be a real nice kind of surrogate or proxy instead of using, Grace, Determination, Defiance Banner. And it's only a single 25% reservation. On top of that, I have crafted 6% Fizz, Takeness, Fire, and Lightning. I'm basically going over why I was able to justify getting Haste going here. The purpose of this video is to encourage you to just try these different auras, and especially Haste, right? Basically, the way that I was starting talking about this, right, is build started feeling a lot better now that I had Shield Charge and Flame Dash, which now my mobility is a combination of movement, attack, and cast speed. So anything that modifies especially all 3 of those, going for something like action speed on my boot implicit, or haste, which gives me all of those, dramatically overhauls the flexibility and speed of this character. This is a thing that's kind of hard to demonstrate by just, showing you something for 10 seconds. But the feel of my character, right? This is normal. This is with my flasks up as it's going around. And then if I turn on haste, right? This is just me walking around normally. And then I turn on haste. and then I hit my flasks. I don't know how well this can convey in a video, but there's that difference of when you're playing the game where, especially leveling up your character, you got 10% movement speed boots, and your shield charge is like, it's like this all the time, right? And it's like, okay, this is faster than just walking, but it's so clunky. I don't know. I feel myself like hitting the keyboard harder, just like, come on, just go faster. It feels so sluggish. When this game really pops off and feels awesome, you get that acceleration shrine, you get all your headhunter buffs going, everything that's juicing your character, and you're going really, really fast. And I feel like a haste is kind of a little bit of a shortcut to having access to that all the time. Not to mention that I actually have onslaught on my boots as well. So if we drop that in, now I'm going, this is how fast I am when I'm mapping. And if you're looking at a traditional self-cast witch, walking around, okay, Orb of Storms, Lightning Conduit. You don't want to be that slow, nerdy wizard, right? You want to be Gandalf standing on top of Shadowfax, rolling in, saving Helm's Deep on your horse, going really, really fast. And yeah, anyway. I don't want to be some sluggish, like, glass cannon. I want to be moving fast, be relatively tanky, and just having fun, As I said, it's getting more popular, 25% of people using haste. But I just really wanted to call attention to, the fact that I think we over-calibrated after Arch Nemesis. They did the defensive rework. And now in the state of the game, especially with some power creep, giving us access to, more damage for free, more access to more defenses. We got really, really strong gear that can give us incredible amounts of defense and offense that we can craft without too much effort. And I would actually encourage you to, if you're in softcore, do that limit testing, try something like dropping some of these defensive auras, even consider dropping Ghost Dance, right? Like in my normal configuration, I'm at like 6,200 life and 1,300 energy shield. I've moved things a little bit. You'll see why. Yeah, I just found myself never dying. And then as I turned off these auras and I unspec'd Ghost Dance, I was still never dying. And then I was like, oh, I can sneak in Haste. I can sneak in Herald of Ash. I can just make my game more fun to play. And then absolute worst case, this is why my character is set up like this. What I would recommend as a little tech here is you can use Eldritch Battery. If you just need to sneak in another aura no matter what, especially if you don't want to be too fiddly. Eldritch Battery, you can do that by adding an invocation onto your Sanctified Relic. It's about 4 to 5 divines right now on the trade website. If you add that invocation on your Sanctified Relic, then you'll get Eldritch Battery, or you can use Devouring Diadem, or you can use a Skin of Lord, something like that gives you a keystone. And what that allows you to do is this little tech here with a Divine Blessing and Life Tap. I actually put in Haste here, but I would recommend using Haste by default. And then when you need that damage, right? Like when you go into the boss room when you're mapping, then you can press your Divine Blessing support. So the way that Eldritch Battery works is your energy shield now effectively kind of becomes your mana. You spend it before your mana. When you reserve your auras, you still reserve mana, but spending it, you actually use your energy shield. And it actually spends the amount of mana and not the amount of energy shield. And so if you just have a ton of ES, you can just cast this very expensive Divine Blessing, kind of for free, right? 696 mana right now. That would be really, really hard for me to do. If I had auras reserved, I would only have like 20 mana, right? But with Energy Shield instead, with Eldritch Battery, it only costs 700 mana. I got 1,300 ES, right? And then you can make this last between 10 and 20 seconds, depending on how your character's set up. This is a way that you could use something like Haste all the time, and then just press your Hatred or Malevolence or Zealotry, any of your offensive auras, when you go in that boss room and when you really need that more damage. So yeah, anyway, I think I went on long enough right here. I just wanted to share with you guys what, for me, totally transformed the comfort of playing this game and just being so much more fun, being able to get around really, really quickly. For me, that's what's fun, right? More speed, more killing monsters. Having that access to that on not a traditionally very fast class also feels particularly good. So anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year's, everyone. Thank you, everyone that's been supporting and everything over the past year, 2 years now. It's been absolutely incredible, and I'm really, really excited for 2023. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.